Coming up on the AFN Europe Report.
A new environmental law in Germany is requiring drivers to display a decal to drive in designated areas. And we go into the skies of Afghanistan to see how hard to reach locations receive resupply loads. Plus, the Air Force enlists some fine feathered friends to sustain their mission.
Those stories and more.
Your station, your stories.
The AFN Europe Report starts now.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Specialist Jennifer Gold. Cities in Germany are establishing environmental protection zones. And why should this matter to you? Well, the passport you'll need to get into some cities is as simple as having a sticker.
With the new emission sticker law, if you don't want to see these, then you need to get yourself one of these.
The new law encompasses two areas. One is the gasoline vehicles and the other is the diesel vehicles. It's aimed more at diesel vehicles to reduce particles that diesel fuel emits when it's burned. They're very heavy, dark particles. The second half on the gasoline vehicles is part of the old system that they had in place with the yellow stickers several years back, targeted more at getting the really older cars off the street.
Getting the new sticker is easy and it's free.
Our members of the force can go right to their local field registration office where they're stationed and bring their ID card, registration, and they'll be given a decal.
Not all vehicles are required to have the sticker.
Motorcycles, three-wheel vehicles, military vehicles, combat and non-combat. Your historical vehicles, that's the ones that the Germans put the license plate with the H on it. They have to be 30 years or older. Those are exempt.
If you'd like more information and to view maps in the zoned areas, go to hquuser.ARMY.MIL.
And that was AFN's Lori Cerna reporting. Afghanistan's terrain is some of the harshest in the world. Coalition soldiers are forced to navigate thousands of feet in elevation by foot because vehicles just can't make the climb. The terrain also leaves few options when calling in to replenish essentials like food and water. And Army Sergeant Pat Malone watched as troops looked to the sky for supplies.
Many coalition forces in eastern Afghanistan serve hundreds of miles away from flat land. The remote locations make resupplying food, water, and ammunition next to impossible by land. That's when troops call in for a little help from above. Task Force Outfront aviators from the 101st Combat Aviation Brigade keep coalition forces in the fight by bringing necessities right to them. The aviators use Chinook helicopters that can carry up to 28,000 pounds of cargo. The Chinooks can also transport over 30 soldiers with full combat loads to some of the most dangerous areas in the country. Today the crew flies to 5 outposts on the Afghanistan-Pakistan border, where contact significantly increases during the summer months. The Chinook crew puts their lives at risk to support the troops holding enemies at bay. The crew believes the risk is worth it.
The best part about it is honestly, taking care of the ground troops up at these FOBs. Without a Chinook, these guys wouldn't have much.
Flight engineer Specialist Robert Brownlee says supporting the warfighter takes a team effort.
These missions couldn't happen with just one guy, and it couldn't happen with just this crew. I mean, the Apache crews that were escorting us, the other Chinook crews that helped us get down here, the crews that help us take care of the airplane before and after it takes off.
Troops could not successfully defeat the enemy in the far reaches of Afghanistan without the support of the aviators. The 101st Combat Aviation Brigade delivers the goods so coalition forces can continue the mission. Army Sergeant Pat Malone, Jalalabad, Afghanistan.
The Air Force has recruited a different kind of bird for their fleet. Marine Corporal Todd Lewis reports.
Part of the rota team that keeps these birds moving safely? These birds, peregrine and gyr hybrid falcons, patrol the flight line under the command of the rota falconer, Manuel Rodriguez.
Oh. Hey.
Manuel and his falcons have scared away thousands of flight-damaging birds, and his skill makes him feel important.
It's very rewarding for me, and it makes me feel very satisfied every time I see a big airplane landing. Even though it's just a minute, I was there before, and I ran those birds away. It makes me feel really, really good.
Bird strikes can happen, possibly less often, with a falconer around. Marine Corporal Todd Lewis, Rota Spain.
It's no secret that doctors and other medical professionals spend a lot of time in the classroom before treating a patient, but even after graduating, the learning continues. One place hospital staff at Landstuhl Regional Medical Center can turn to for knowledge is their award-winning library.
You won't find any titles here from J.K. Rowling or Stephen King, but you may find some answers for your arthritis pain, the latest surgical techniques, or even some facts right out of an episode of CSI. Landstuhl's medical library stocks all the latest information in just about every field of medical, dental, and veterinary study.
It is journals, it is magazines, it is books online. We have a subscription to 15 databases at the moment that can be accessed throughout Europe.
The European Command uses the library as a one-stop resource for the latest research. It's not usually a place where people browse for something that looks interesting. Most people who come into the library have something specific in mind.
Typically, I'm looking for a particular reference. When I do come down here, I have something in mind. Yeah, I don't just come down and hang out. My office is down the hall, so get what I need and go.
Landstuhl staff thinks the library is a great resource to have. In fact, so does the Library of Congress. They recently named Landstuhl's medical library the best small federal-funded library out of more than 5,000 facilities. And that's without having one single book involving Harry Potter. Air Force Sergeant Stephanie Sornock, Landstuhl, Germany.
Coming up, the German-American Friendship Fest is in full swing. We'll have more when we return. German Chancellor Angela Merkel and former U.S. President George Herbert Walker Bush will participate in the grand opening of the new American Embassy next to the Brandenburg Gate tomorrow. The new Chancery building is on the site where the U.S. Embassy used to be prior to World War II. That building was destroyed, so in addition to the usual 4th of July reception, there will be speeches, a musical program, and a fireworks display over the Brandenburg Gate. Then on the 5th of July, where there will be an American festival right in front of the embassy. AFN's Gary Bottel will report from this event, and as always, we will have the story to you next week right here on the AFN Europe Report. Also, if you're on the fence about your 4th of July plans, you can contact your local MWR or outdoor recreation facilities. And it's an event that celebrates Independence Day and international friendship. And the celebration provides more than a cold German beverage and bratwurst. AFN's Daniel Day joined in on the fun at the 52nd Annual German-American Summer Festival.
Welcome to Mannheim Military Community's German-American Summer Fest 2008. Oh!
Mannheim's German-American Summerfest officially started on Benjamin Franklin Village with opening remarks by American military leaders and German city officials.
This is special for me. I've been attending this Volksfest many years back, and I've never dreamed that it's going to be me to welcome you on behalf of my hometown.
This is the 7th time that I've attended this fest, and I finally get to tap the keg.
And a tradition that started in 1952 continues.
I think that both the military and the local Mannheim community look forward to this event because they know this is the one time of the year when we all kind of let our hair down and relax and come together for good friendship.
The first of the fest goers trickled in slowly, but as the weekend arrived, the grounds were full with both seasoned festival veterans and those experiencing their first German-American Summerfest. Daniel Day, Mannheim, Germany.
Working out doesn't have to feel like a chore, especially when fun alternatives may be just a step away. One woman in this next story lost 60 pounds swinging and dancing her way through a dance studio.
Push-ups, sit-ups, and a run are not the only exercises you can do to keep in shape. Teresa Holland says you can dance your way into a fit figure.
You can get a great aerobics workout, especially doing 20 style Charleston for a song or two.
She should know she's used swing dancing to trim her waistline.
I lost about 60 pounds in the last year, and swing dancing was a large part of that.
Senior Airman Sarah Keller is new to the swing dance scene, but it is proving to be a great workout for her as well.
I've been doing this for about 3 months and lost 10 pounds.
Don Schaefer teaches the free swing dance classes at the Ramstein Community Center. He says he goes through 2 sets of clothes during the hour-long workout.
It's normal to bring more than one shirt, so that way if I get soaked I can trade out and then the follows don't have to dance with a disgusting sweaty guy.
Instead of putting on your running shoes, try slipping on some dancing shoes for your aerobic workout. Staff Sergeant Vanessa Heinzelman, Ramstein, Germany.
Everybody has a story, and if you'd like to share yours, we'd love to hear from you. Send your story idea via email to stories@afne.army.mil. Plus, don't forget you can also look us up on the web. We're at afneurope.net. All the stories you've seen on the AFN Europe Report are available on our website. Once there, you can view, save, and send these stories to anyone you'd like. And coming up, kids from all over Europe cure summertime boredom through a very special organization.
With the beginning of another great riding season, there's nothing like the wind in my face and the road underneath my wheels. Before I start my ride, I check my bike out. I check the headlights, the taillights, the brakes, and the wheels, and then I check myself out. I make sure I have my gloves, my helmet, my iPro, and my vest, and then I'm ready to ride. Riding safely is about the right attitude. You can't be Army strong if you can't be Army safe.
Ow. Ow. Oh. Ow. Oh. Oh. Drunk. Dry. Brr.
And finally, American children living abroad in Europe often find themselves feeling lonely and disconnected during the summer season. Specialist Ryan Hall found one organization that joins kids together for some good old-fashioned fun.
The Camp Darby campgrounds came alive with smiling faces and the sounds of laughter as Camp Darby welcomed young people from across the continent for Club Beyond's Beach Break 2008. Some kids traveled from as far away as Germany and England for a week of game playing and sightseeing. One youth leader says the post's location provides great access to a multitude of popular attractions.
The one thing about Camp Darby, it's a secure setting, but where it's located with the beach just up the street and many, many different tourist attractions in the immediate area, such as Pisa and Florence and some of the other cities that we visit. So it's very, very well located to take kids to a lot of different adventures.
The kids played games during the club's county fair day and then enjoyed a Christian-themed concert. Another youth leader says the camp provides a great opportunity for interaction and spiritual growth.
It's a good experience for kids because they get to connect with other communities throughout Europe. They get to meet other kids and they get to hear about their faith.
The Camp Darby Club Beyond Beach Break 08 hosted a grand total of roughly 750 kids and counselors over a 3-week period. Specialist Ryan Hall, Camp Darby, Italy.
That's all the time we have tonight. For everyone here at the AFN Europe Report, have a safe weekend and a great night.